Welcome to the dark side. No, I'm just kidding. Today we are going to be looking at some of my comments because the FAs have arrived. They are here, they are in the comment section, and I do want to respond. But first, let me go ahead and introduce myself. This is GraphicallyAlex. I cover all things fat related. If that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Also, please do put the notifications on if you love the channel so that you can get all my videos sent to you. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue here. I was a little bit shooketh when I saw some FAs in here. Not because like they said anything that bothersome or weird or whatever, but just because like, I don't know. I'm still kind of new in a sense, and so it's weird when I actually interact because a lot of times when you're a smaller channel, you just feel like you're just talking to nothing. Not really. I mean, obviously I love your guys' comments and stuff, but you just kind of feel like it's like a small kind of intimate space, but then they come and they come after you and they're mean and hateful. And I'm so hurt. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I want to go ahead and respond to it. Let's go ahead here. Girl, you are just mad that other people are more comfortable in their bodies than you. So one thing I want to say is a lot of these FA talking points, they're very, very repetitive. So I know one of them is very common, like this one right here. Me when I deliberately miss the point of what people say so I can dunk on them without even having to put in the effort of thinking. So I've seen the Hidden Channel. She has talked about this. She, in her most recent video, I think she was talking about how FAs will often say that you're purposefully misunderstanding. And I got this already. So I think what this person doesn't understand is that you don't have to agree with something just because you understand what they're saying. I understood every TikTok in the video. I just don't agree with any of them. So you can entertain an idea without agreeing with it. That's step one of critical thinking. Okay? Let me see here. So their best friend replied, "The irony is palpable." Okay. Don't know what's ironic about any of this video. I don't agree with what they're saying. And I said I didn't. And I explained why. It's not very ironic. Okay, so the other reason why I'm doing this is because they were giving hate to y'all. And I don't really mind that much if they do hate against me. Like, I probably wouldn't have made this, but I don't want to leave y'all in the dust. You know what I mean? And I don't like that they were coming after you guys. So I'm not one for like total censorship or whatever. I just want to respond to it. So this person was very sweet. And look at this. They're hating on my viewers. Tisk tisk. So here's another one. "You're so obsessed with the lives of strangers. Go touch some grass and stop projecting your narcissistic BS. You sound like you spend more time creating hypothetical people up in your head who need help instead of doing any self-reflection." I ignored them. I'm not going to engage with them in written format because the response is really unhinged too. Like, this person was just saying you should never feel invalidated or ugly, but people saying morbidly obese is okay and body positive is just unhealthy. "I grew up fat and still am. I don't think being overweight is that bad, but once it starts to affect your daily life, you need to begin to get help. It's not fat phobia. Being bigger affects family and friends too. I have horrible stamina, etc." So not like the most hateful comment, right? And I would say that this person probably has a lot of hypothetical people in their head because I feel like they're the type of person to sit in their room and think about hypotheticals like conversations with people. which I've been one of those people in my life, like when I was young, but it's a little cringe. I'm going to be honest. It's cringy because you're more so projecting your BS onto everybody else. So let's continue. Let's look for more hate and toxicity. Yeah, so don't you owe health to yourself? As somebody with a lot of medical issues, I'm fighting through everything to be the healthiest version of me because I owe it to myself to live. I was 13 when the doctor told me I wouldn't live to 30. That's next year, dude, and I'm still standing. I will never be behind fat acceptance. So I'm so proud of this person. I'm so happy. Like, I struggled deeply with a health issue before the age of 30 myself, and it's a really nice, beautiful comment. And this person says, you're deeply dumb. If you owe health to yourself, then it's not your place to be making judgments on anyone else. And no, you don't owe anything to anyone. Take your narcissistic BS and shove it. So this is one of those people where they just kind of reply the same thing to everybody. But I mean, I'm getting like it's giving unhinged ex-girlfriend energy. I don't like that type of energy. I dealt with that a lot. You deal with it a lot online. There's so much straw manning and so much projection in general. Like, Sissy Beth Studio didn't say anything about anyone else. She just said that she would never be behind fat acceptance in general. That has nothing to do with anyone else. That's her belief system. That's what she thinks. So again, trying to control people, like, to me, this comment section, in my opinion, it is representative of the fact that FAs in general are starting to lose ground. They really are. And it's like that desperate reach for control. That's what I'm seeing. Like, this person is desperately trying to control. Like, this channel, this video is very obviously critical of fat acceptance. The title was very clear. It said fat acceptance is deeply manipulative. That's very clearly critical. If you don't want to see that, you didn't have to click on it. I'm not commenting on FA's pages in general. I'm not sending anybody their way. There's not a lot of crossover between TikTok and YouTube anyways. So it's like, if you're trying to do all that, you're seeking it, you know? And I would assume it's because you are doubting some of the things you're saying, which is probably a good thing because fat acceptance is extremely toxic. Okay, so let's see. I think this one has a reply. Okay. I have several disabilities, but after COVE, we call it COVE here, I became extremely weak and I had to walk with a cane. A year later, I built up enough strength that I lift weights and work out multiple times a week. A lot of disabled people want to do everything in their power to make their lives easier. Period. Happy for you. Amazing. Need to thumb it up. Sorry, I just do the hearts. But seriously, like, that's really great. And I agree. Many disabled people will do everything they can to make their lives better and easier. Absolutely. Look at this person's response. Yeah, but hearing y'all losers being obsessed with their bodies doesn't help. Fat acceptance TikTokers are the ones that bring up disabled people all the time. And I don't know if you can't read that well, or again, you're just coming up with these imagined scenarios in your own head. But she pointed out that she has disabilities. So is she a loser for being obsessed with her own body? I mean, this is just like, it's comical. So ridiculous. I think that one's good. Okay. On that first lady, all I can say is this: never take relationship advice from a lonely, bitter fool. I'm not sure how to say your name, but you are really sassy. I think Amy. I'm going to call you Amy. You are sassy. The sass is real, love. And yes, if you demand accommodations and free quote-unquote healthcare, then you do owe it to society to at least try to improve your health. Not to mention you owe it to those you supposedly love. Completely agree with this statement. Completely agree. Let's see here. Okay, so this person definitely got some reactions. So we have another one. No, you don't. No one should be forced into blank in the name of love. You don't know blank. I hate that I have to censor myself. YouTube. A lot of fat people have fat parents, and you're starting way too far off. I know you don't know jack blank about obesity or how we got here. Okay, whatever. You don't know anything because Amy has lost a significant amount of weight. Amy cares deeply about this issue. I see Amy all over the anti-FA space. Love it. She is extremely dedicated to this issue and having it be fixed and cares a lot about this. And she's always in my health update videos. I appreciate you. So it's like, no, you don't know anything, whatever. You don't know shit. I'll say it. Say it once. You got one. You moron. Free healthcare isn't free. Everyone still pays into it. Okay. Apparently they don't understand quotes. It's just accessible to everyone, not to mention that a lot of people with weight issues have those issues because they haven't been able to see a doctor. Take your toxic, narcissistic, moral high ground BS and shove it. So, I don't know. I have my questions about the health industry. I'm not just saying in terms of American healthcare. I think just Western medicine, there are some issues, okay? There's a lot of good things about Western medicine, but I have qualms and questions, and they heavily let me down in terms of the obesity issue. I may get into that later. I did a long form video with my friend Lisa. We talked about the healthcare to fat acceptance pipeline. So I have questions and criticisms for the health system. But I'm just saying, I still had many weight issues and I was able to see a doctor. So it didn't help me. So I don't agree with that at all. I think pretty much every fat person has been to the doctor, and I don't know, not everybody is helped, There's a reason this is getting worse. Like, there's more than one reason why this issue has gotten worse over the decades. Okay, let's continue. I know this one triggered them. I can feel it. It's the whataboutism for me. We can't encourage people to adopt healthy habits because what about people who can't achieve perfect health? These two things are not the same. Arg. Yes, completely agree. It's a deflection. It's a way to try to make you feel bad, which is what I said in my response. So here they go. No one wants or needs your duplicitous encouragement. Duplicitous encouragement. Wow. And so what you're saying is not duplicitous at all. You're just totally honest about everything, please. And it isn't encouragement, it's shaming. It's not shaming to encourage somebody to exercise. It just isn't. If you say, you're so lazy, what's wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. Suggesting good things for somebody is not shaming. If you feel ashamed because you hear a suggestion, that's more on you. That's your problem. I'm sorry. But even still, people judge everybody all the time. It's like, you need to just deal with it. It's a part of being a human being. You understand the concept of existence, right? That you can only control your body, and you should focus on that and leave everyone else the F alone. The concept of existence? What? We're trying to be a little philosophical up in here. I'm sure people understand the concept of existence. Somebody existing doesn't mean that they're not able to be criticized whatsoever, or that they can't have a positive suggestion be given to them. The two things are not related at all. Okay. You want to encourage people to manage their health, pay for it. Get us universal health care or at least nationwide Medicare expansion. Pay for the groceries poor people can barely afford anymore. So I'm not going to necessarily get into all the politics here. I will just say that there are a lot of reasons for inflation. That's what I will say. So I'm going to keep it pretty tame because that's not really the scope of this channel. But the point is, you have to take responsibility for your own health. Even if people have universal health care or do this stuff, like we still see very fat people in other countries that have that. That's not the fix-all answer, clearly. I also think it's really dishonest because a lot of people like you would never do anything, even if you did get to go to the doctor, if they told you that you have to eat less, move more, etc., which is basically what they're going to say, you still wouldn't do it. So you're just using it as an excuse. And I understand being broke. I have struggled horrifically during this inflation, particularly in 2021 and 2022. It was very hard. Those were extremely hard years financially, but I still was able to recover. I had to cut corners. I had to, get food at Walmart and stuff. Like, it was tough. Like, I mean, I still have to. It's not like I'm rich now, but I'm just saying, like, I had to just make sure I avoided seed oils and stuff, and I had to eat cheaply and still relatively high calorie because you have to eat enough calories to hit your thyroid. It was a lot. It was tough. But the point is, like, in terms of counting calories now, it's actually been cheaper for me. With inflation, it's kind of insane. I eat like half of what I used to, and I still pay almost the same, which is insane. But it has kept it affordable for me. So it actually does help to eat less as far as financially. The other stuff, it would really depend on your situation. Like if you have a serious disability or something going on where it would be very difficult, where you need a surgery or something, I can understand that. But there are options for getting your healthcare covered in the United States. I've seen it. So definitely look into it. But whatever, I don't think that you're serious at all. Just stop pretending you give a single F about anyone. Just own that you're a bad person who likes to make people who are already suffering suffer even more. See, this is just wild. It's a lot of assumption here. I can't wait for you to get old and watch your perfect body fall apart. I don't know that everybody on my channel has a perfect body. Like, that's not really what this is. Like, we don't really... I don't know. We don't go there really on this channel. I hardly ever talk about like vanity and stuff. I may later, like when I'm, if I'm just working on appearance or something, but I'm not there yet. Like right now I'm at like baseline survival, getting to a point where my hypo is just moderate rather than severe, which it's kind of happening, hence why I'm filming more. But it's like, we're at a different point on this channel. Like, the people on my channel, we're more so about the issues. We're not just about vanity and looks and all that stuff. We hardly ever talk about that. Not that we never will, because I can talk about whatever I want, and I will in terms of this issue, but it's like, get it together. We don't have to prove anything to you either. Okay? You'll most likely be doing so alone because no one likes people like you. Well, I like them. I like Tara. I'm so sorry if I get any of your guys' names, but Tara is very sweet. So, you're just hating. Hater. You're insufferable and completely full of S. The lack of self-awareness is palpable. Okay. You're just making stuff up now. Like, you're just saying things because it makes you feel like you're smart. Okay. Now, white isn't a race is back. Why are you so obsessed with the bodies of strangers? Go touch some grass. Cringe. Cringe, cringe, cringe. Cringe. Why are you obsessed with the opinions of others? The irony is palpable because all you do is the exact same thing to people with weight problems. STFU, you're a hypocrite at best. What? Okay, I'm not even understanding that, so I'm just going to move on. Okay. It's just, and then I said it's just a deflection and an attempt of guilting people for pointing out obvious facts. And then this person said, exactly, they are obvious, so you're just an a-hole for pointing them out as if they are not. Mind your own business. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe there's some self-hatred going on there. I'm sorry if you're in that situation. Oh, this is funny. Okay, we're getting to the end here. Their hang up about people being concerned about health is so weird. Yeah, people don't want to watch their loved ones die early because of their bad choices. Period. Facts. Gold star. Yes. 100%. Yes, Scarlett. They're here. LOL, have you heard of skinny fat? It's where two people have the same diets and exercise equally, and one gets fat and the other doesn't due to metabolism. That's not true. So almost always there will be differences between how long they've been eating that way, what kind of foods they're eating, and how much, as well as activity. It is very rare that you will find a fat person that has the same dieting habits and exercise habits as a thin person, with the exception of something like PCOS. Maybe you can see something like that. But even with severe hypothyroidism, most of the time you are eating because you are hungry. And same thing with PCOS. You're hungry, so you're still eating. And then obviously a lot of people have BED and food addiction issues. So they're obviously not eating the same amount as a thin person. Like, I think this is a complete lie. People will eat the same bad foods, although in smaller amounts. And yes, they can still have their levels be bad with those foods, particularly the caustic seed oils that I talk about. So if they're eating a lot of McDonald's French fries and stuff, it can still cause a problem, even if they're thin. The only issue is if they stopped eating that fast food, they don't have tons of those toxic fats on their body. So they're really easily able to get better. It's a much faster recovery process than for somebody who's morbidly obese. Someone like me, it will take me years to get better. Somebody who's thin, who just changed their diet and stopped eating like total crap all the time, they probably would be better within 6 months. It's just, it is worse to be fatter because it's harder to get better. Okay. Anyways. Except these people are never talking with their loved ones. They're telling random people STFU. Okay. I don't know. Weird. Yes, health is not a possession or an object to owe anyone, but I think it's important to take care of yourself however you can, primarily for your family, and then even just to be a more productive person in society wherever possible. So when I made that comment, I'm talking about like how for me, I work to help cover the bills of the household, especially in this economy. And it's just better to be healthier so I can still help my family, so I can still, be a source of support. Like, me and my family can support each other as much as possible. And then as far as being more productive in society, it's like if I get even healthier, then I can make these videos and I can try to promote a counter narrative to FA. That's what I was talking about. Like, I've become healthier recently, which is why I'm back. I didn't just take a break just because I felt like it. I was really ill over the summer. Anyways, so this person responds, LOL, gotcha. So you think shaming people into believing they need to become something different to be accepted promotes productivity. LMFAO, delusional. So it's much more than just social acceptance. I think this person's probably young. It's, when you get older and you're still fat, it's really horrible health-wise, like deeply, truly horrible. Like you have horrible things waiting for you. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, if you're really big, it will be horrible. And I really think you should get it under control when you're still younger. That doesn't mean have an ED. Just get a healthy, normal caloric deficit. Just shallow, not a big deal. And just lose weight. Avoid seed oils. Makes it easier to stay in deficit. It's really simple, especially from a young age. You could probably get away with a lot more. But anyways, you're looking amazing. Thank you, Violet. Okay, last one. The phrase, "you don't owe anybody health," deeply enrages me. First of all, it makes no sense at all. And secondly, how dare you? You bring me into a relationship to leave me basically taking care of you. Great video, Alex. I enjoy your insight. Thank you. And yes, exactly. Relationships are supposed to be reciprocal. Relationships are not like a parent-child relationship or a hero-savior relationship. Like, it should be, you know, equals. Stronger in different areas of life, you know, but taking care of each other. That's a relationship. We all have a role, you know. Let's see what they say. Then these people were talking about like, you know, situations where there have been, you know, where they've struggled with that. And then this person was talking about the universal health care. Like, you should try if you believe in universal health care. I agree. So they just say, sounds more like you just suck at communication. And someone's like, did you try therapy? Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to read these. I'm sorry. Okay. Not to mention, if you're a believer in universal health care, like a lot of these FAs claim to be, then yes, you do owe your entire country your best health. Your fellow citizens are paying for your consequences, and if you want that community to take care of you, the responsibility is on you to lessen the burden. A system of universal health care only works of a society if the society cares about health. If you don't care about your own health or public health, why bother with universal health care? So I agree with this. I think if FAs were at least ideological, like if they were ideologically consistent, if they were just like, let me do what I want, I don't care, like don't pay for me, then that would be fine. But they don't ever think of it that way. They don't. So this person said, under that same logic, firefighters shouldn't save poor people and rescue services should only help the wealthy. You sound like a narcissist brat at best and a genocidal dipstick at worst. Okay, so no, I think that that's really just, it would be more like saying, because firefighters exist, it's okay to set fire to your house every day. Like, that would be an abuse of the firefighting service. Or same with rescue services. If you just jump off a cliff into the woods every day or something, you know, or you get lost in the ocean every second, just so you can have somebody come rescue you, like that would be an abuse of that type of system. I mean, that's abusing the system. It's the same thing. You're also the same type of person who thinks V's are bad, but then acts like they care about public health. Absolutely STFU. So usually people, I mean, there are a lot of people that think V's are bad, but they're usually not for like, usually the people that are against that are not for universal health care. So I think you're conflating two groups of people. I know my stance was just, it should be a choice. I did choose to get it, but there were certain people in my life I didn't think they should get it. And I told them not to, because I judged people on an individual basis. And so in my opinion, it was best for someone like me because I was like middle health. But there are certain people in my life that have health conditions where I knew that that wasn't tested with them. And then certain people that were extremely healthy. And I just didn't think it was necessary. So I think for me, I was very in between on that issue. But people have different opinions, and usually people that are really for it, they usually do support more of like the public health services, and people who are really against it usually don't. So you're kind of conflating those groups. Yeah. So anyways, and then they just asked if the person tried therapy, but they didn't respond, which honestly, you don't have to. So anyways, thank you guys. That's my response. I hope you guys like this. Let me know what you think. I thought this would be kind of interesting because if they're going to bring the fight to me, then I'm going to bring it right back. No, I'm just kidding. No, I wasn't really going into that level with this, but I did just want to cover it just because I don't want y'all to feel like you're out in the snow, you know? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think down below, please. Don't forget notifications if you like the channel. And subscribe, like, etc. I hope to see you guys again soon. I will see you later. This ended up being way longer than I thought, but that's okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all. Peace.